Hello everyone, welcome back to another AFK journey video. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Crystal Beetle, who has just launched in the earliest servers of the new season. Even if you are on a later season and the Crystal Beetle is not launched for you yet, hopefully this will give you a good idea of what to expect. We're going to take a look at his skills and then we're going to try some different team compositions against him. And maybe that can give you an idea of which heroes to begin building up for your Crystal Beetle. So before we get into the team testing I did on my own account, I'm recording this now a couple hours later after recording that initial video, after I've talked to Ofter, who is rank 3 of the Crystal Beetle leaderboard, who did a lot more damage than we did. And I wanted to ask him which team that he was running. And this is the team he was running, and I was very surprised to see this, that he wasn't even running Odie in the team where he out-damaged us and a lot of people by so much. So I guess there is going to be a lot of experimentation that we're going to have to go through with the Crystal Beetle, but it really seems like the more shields you have, the more effective your team becomes. I guess that preventing that knockup is just really important. So either way here, we have two key heroes, which I thought even before walking into here would be great, which are Thorin and Rainier. They both have the debuff onto the boss to increase the damage the boss will take. You have Lucius, who with the seasonal skill, he's really strong for increasing your damage further and increasing haste, and also his shielding will prevent the boss from knocking you up as much. Corrin, I don't understand really why Corrin is actually better here than Odie, for example. I guess the magic damage from the mist you get is just a little bit overrated, and I think the other problem is the mist is not always active throughout the entire fight. So it might just be better to go for a physical comp rather than a fully magic-oriented comp with Cassidy and stuff. So I guess you don't even have to build up a Cassidy for this. I thought that would be the best team, but we'll experiment more with teams like this after in tomorrow's and future videos. But I wanted to definitely, before uploading that video, I wanted to come up with a really good solid team that I found for my guildmate before uploading it. So here we have Corrin as your damage source. He shields. He does contribute a lot of damage, but I'm again a little bit surprised that maybe Marilee might contribute even more damage than Corrin, but apparently he's really good. And then Scarlita. So Scarlita is going to be the hero which a lot of people will not be able to run, because in my opinion you shouldn't be running Scarlita here unless she's Mythic Plus, because at Mythic Plus she's gonna unlock her true damage from her ability, her I think even basic attacks, when there are at least 4 surviving non-summoned allies. So you need that. Without her true damage, I really feel like she's not a good option here. I know she does shield your front line, or your weakest hero. And I guess that's also another important thing in the early, but that's only for 20 seconds of the early part of the fight. After that, she's going to come down, and if she's not dealing true damage, I feel like she's just kind of going to be a waste for your team. So with that being said, if you don't have Scarlita at Mythic Plus, but you have the other heroes here, I guess you could even try a Marilee, you could try an Odie, like more damage. And I don't know about Iron, because he was recommended in there and he shields himself, but I really feel like his damage can't be that high. He's not a single target damage dealer. So I would probably pick Odie or Marilee as the next option. And but I do think Lucius is going to be a must-have, especially with the seasonal skill to increase your damage after 40 seconds of the fight, and Rainier and Thorin increase the damage the boss receives further. So I think this is, yeah, a really interesting team comp. He did go for the Quick Blade spell, which is what we were thinking maybe it would work, but for the team comps I was running, it didn't work out as well as a Crescent. But we'll experiment a bit more. Either way, now you can watch the rest of the video if you want, but this is really the key take-home message. The rest of the video was me testing different teams, but now we have much more information based on how well Ofter did. But anyway guys, I'll let you carry on with the video. Either way, he has a huge amount of life, way more health than all other bosses, because your whole district is attacking him together. Let's take a look at the skills first of all. So he's a mage, magic damage dealing boss with a range of 3, and it is a beetle that dwells in a magical land capable of conjuring magical mist. And this is the key thing, his magical mist changes which heroes are going to be the best in this boss, and it protects himself with illusions. Okay, his skill description is pretty short on all of his abilities, but so we can go through it really quickly. His ultimate is that he will fly into the sky and become invincible. And I'm assuming that means he will not take immune to all type of damage and control effects and becomes untargetable. And while he does this, he'll hurl a magic projectile at each enemy, dealing 80% of his attack damage to the target and adjacent targets. So because there's like this splash damage to adjacent targets, I feel like maybe positioning your team not all clumped together like you normally do in Dreamland bosses, but spread out with like at least one tile in between each other. I'm going to try that for our first attack. And then his first ability, it casts a spell that enhances the scales on the wings and back at 10, 30, 50, and 70 seconds into a battle, and that will increase its dodge by 100 for 15 seconds. So it will be more difficult to land your attacks onto him, and so it will be difficult to ramp up your damage. But thankfully that isn't like an aggressive skill, so it doesn't cause your team to wipe or die, for example, like other Primal Lords that we've faced. And then summon a 3-tile wide spike that extends forward. So I'm assuming it's going to be a spike and it rolls across the entire map. And it will hit everyone in his path. That's what I'm assuming. We'll take a look. Dealing 60% damage to enemies hit. If enemies lose HP from this damage, they will also be knocked into the air and stunned for 2 seconds. So the key part of this description is if they lose HP. So it's not if they take damage. So if you have shielders, and that's why actually Lucius might be, for once, one of the best options in Primal Lord, because he provides shielding for your team. But Coco is going to be probably the better option, and I'm going to try Coco in my team. My Lucius still isn't Supreme Plus, but I'm working on getting him there, because in the new season, his seasonal effect of increasing haste and damage sort of buff for your team is really valuable, and I think maybe he will be the best option as a tanker for your Crystal Beetle. So you want to prevent taking the damage so that, or lose HP so that you can not get knocked up, because knocking up is going to interrupt everything. If you have Smokey, he's going to interrupt his aura, and if you have other heroes, they're going to do less damage because they get knocked up. Finally, the final ability spreads an enchanted mist across the battlefield. This is the key one, and it fuels a magic obsession of those within. Increases the haste of allies and enemies within the mist. So it's so weird because it's not only buffing him, it's also buffing your team. And your haste is going to be massively increased, so heroes which depend on their ultimates are going to do better here. And the magic damage will be amplified by 100%. So this means that we're going to go for a fully magic damage oriented team comp. And so Cassidy is probably going to shine here as well, because Cassidy is the key for magic damage team comps. Her Supreme Plus, when she uses her Running Tide, it will have 20% magic defense reduction onto whoever it hits. And also she empowers up the normal attack of all the heroes in your team that are hit with Running Tide with magical damage. So she is the key for magical damage team comp. Getting her to Mythic Plus will probably be a priority for this boss, and recovering massive energy per second. So with all of that being said, I think I have an idea of what team to run. If we take a look at the recommended, so I don't have a well ascended Elsa, and I don't know if Elsa would be the best option here, but I think she would definitely be usable. Iron, I mean, I feel like they are leaving out some of the information about the boss, because when he buffs himself up with the mist, it says all allies are also given the haste buff and the magic damage buff. So I wonder if he actually summons some Beetles over the course of the match, which are not mentioned in the skill. Only then would Iron be good. Otherwise, Iron is not usually a good hero to be running in just a boss fight. Okay, so we're going to run the Crescent spell, because this is the key spell you want to use for magic damage oriented comps. So we're going to try this first, because the Quick Blade spell is really good for physical damage oriented comps, because it decreases the physical defense of the boss if it hits the boss. But we're going to go for Crescent spell. We can also try Evocation spell. Both are pretty good, but we'll try Crescent spell. And now for the options, I want to try to have definitely Rainier in here to increase the damage the boss receives. I think he'll be the best at doing that. But if you guys don't have all the options I have, or even a Rainier at Mythic Plus, I'm going to put together a team first of all, which I think would be really good for everyone to run. So if you have a Thorin, even without Soul Pact, he can work with one copy, because he will increase the damage the boss receives, but Soul Pact will be better for protecting your team. Odie is going to be the key damage dealer here, because Odie is a magic damage dealer. even though he's a marksman, he's a magic damage dealer. So he is going to do really well when there's the mist active and you have 100% bonus magic damage. Smoky Coco are going to be must-haves, most likely. Mythic Plus on Coco is going to be great for getting that shield to protect you from the knock-up of the boss. I'm going to try to position the heroes like in ways that they're not adjacent to each other. This way Thorin would run up and then Coco is away from the Smoky, Odie is away from the Smoky. So when he does his attack, once he goes up into the air, adjacent allies, there will be no adjacent allies on each tile. So, or maybe he'll attack like right here and then hit everyone, but yeah, anyway, so I think a team like this, and then for the final option, it really just is up to which heroes you have. I think you could even do Cecia very early on, but like, I mean, at this stage, hopefully you have some other Mythic Plus heroes, and I think Cassidy is going to be the next best option, or Rainier at Mythic Plus. You can do Thorin plus Rainier both. Both will increase the damage the boss takes, but we're going to try, first of all, a full team comp of...
is for research.
Yeah, I want to try to spread people out as much as I can, but... Oh, wait a second. We are going to swap Odie into the front line, and that is what I want to do, because Odie should be able to tank the front line. The boss doesn't seem to be having a lot of really high damage skills, and Rainier is over here. So we're going to try to do something like this, position everyone kind of away from each other, and we're going to start. This is the team that I think will be the best for me, but we'll take a look. And we have Odie at maximum level 440. That's the maximum we could get him to right now. Okay, so again, I always think... So there was no shield, so we get knocked up, and that interrupts the Smoky, which is the problem. Maybe we could position Smoky on the right-hand side, but as soon as the shields begin being generated by Coco's Mythic Plus, we won't be getting knocked up anymore by this attack. So he does go up and he becomes invincible. It seems so far like the boss doesn't really have that much way of killing you, and it just comes down to how much damage can you output in a limited amount of time. So it seems like this boss, you won't have an issue surviving, so then maybe Coco isn't even needed. Because Coco does the shielding to prevent the knockups, but you can do Lucius instead, because Lucius would give you the damage buff as well, like increased damage, increased haste, because of the seasonal effect. Okay, so the damage is not too great here. Maybe we're just gonna try to run multiple full damage type team comp and maybe forget about the shields for right now, because what it seems like to me is that we're still getting knocked up even with the Mythic Plus shields of Coco. Maybe Lucius shields would do a better job of preventing the knockup, but yeah, other people have done way more damage than this on my server, so they must be doing a more full damage team comp, and you can go for that. If you go for a full damage team comp, so surviving is probably not the issue, then we would do something like Merrily and Corrin. Merrily, Odie, do we even want Smoky here? Get rid of Smoky and go for Corrin instead, because Smoky doesn't do well with Corrin. And we can have everyone up in the front line. I still think I want Odie to get the attack buff, because Odie is the magical damage dealer on the team. The other two heroes are not magical based damage dealers, but when Cassidy hits them with Running Tide, they should get buffed to have the normal attacks empowered with magical damage. I think I'll position like maybe like this or something. Yeah, we'll try this. Try again with a more full damage team comp. So now we've gotten rid of Smoky because he kept getting interrupted, and we have also gotten rid of Coco because it seems like we don't need the protection of Coco, and it's only really if the shielding can give you the... So Running Tide hits all of my team, so everyone's going to get the empowered normal attacks. Yeah, this boss is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what team comps do the best here. Because we should definitely be getting better than rank 19. I wonder if we do like a Thorin plus Rainier comp, or maybe I'm thinking for the final team we'll try Lucius, even though he's not like highly ascended. He is still Mythic Plus, so he should still do decently well. Maybe we'll try a different artifact as well rather than the Crescent spell. So we're getting off more damage with this team comp. This is I wonder if we position Smokey on the right and have everyone else in the middle, then Smokey will never get interrupted with that attack. Because I feel like that attack and haste buff is going to be worth it and giving up another damage dealer slot. Either way, this is going to be higher damage than the previous team. Survivability is not an issue, it just comes down to how much damage can you output in as little time as possible.
Perfection needs no emphasis.
Okay, so we have two. Do we have enough seasonal essence to level up another hero to 440? We're almost there. We need 12. Okay, we got it. So we'll take one more hero up to 240. I should check the damage chart at the end. I forget to do that a lot, but whether merrily, probably get rid of Corin and keep running merrily and try to run Smokey again, or try to run Lucius. Okay, let's try to run merrily plus OD, because I think that is probably going to be our best bet. And maybe we even try again with the Quick Blade spell, because in other Dreamworld bosses, Quick Blade spell is better. Yeah, so some of these people are higher, most of these people are higher level than me, but still, we should be having more damage than this. Scarlita for the shield, but she only shields one of your teammates. So, and same with Corin. I think Lucius is really going to be the key. Maybe Iron is good because Iron shields himself so he doesn't get interrupted, but I feel like, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna try a final team. Without Smokey, we're gonna try Lucius, or let's try Smokey on the right side maybe.
Who else needs a little pick-me-up?
So now he should be protected, but the problem is his aura ever going to reach the boss? And it'll take a while to reach my team. I think we'll just go for Lucius. I feel like Lucius will be a best option for this Dream Realm boss. Crescent spell, Quick Blade spell. We don't need Evocation spell because that's usually the spell I choose when I need more survivability. Quick Blade for raw damage, or Crescent spell if it's a magic based team comp. So let's take a look here. Now, Lucius's shield, from what I've seen, okay, it shields allies nearby, so it will be effective at preventing the knockup. There we go, yeah, Lucius is the key. Lucius prevented the knockup on our entire team, and he, with his haste, the thing is, if your heroes are not close enough to Lucius, he doesn't give them the shield buff, so they need to be up in the boss's face or like right in front of Lucius. Or close to him. Yeah, it's not shielding the back line, the Rainier and the Merrily, but at least it's shielding OD, so OD can consistently get off his damage. With the Quick Blade spell, it looks not to be as good. Probably the Crescent spell would still be better in this formation. Maybe the best comp would be Lucius, Smokey, Rainier, Cassidy, OD, something like that. I wish we had more attempts, but we're limited on attempts. Yeah, so this is not working as well. I think Crescent spell, I think from my testing what it seems like, we'll take a look at Merrily's damage. But Lucius is better than Coco, and then you're going to run Cassidy, OD, Rainier, and Smokey. And as long as Smokey is not getting knocked up, it's going to be a very effective team. We tried the triple damage dealer team comp with Cassidy, that wasn't as good. Let's take a look at the ranking. Okay, yeah, so even with Quick Blade spell, OD did a lot more damage than Merrily, and they were both at level 440. So I'm thinking that OD and Cassidy should be your highest levels, and then Smokey should be your third highest, and then Lucius, because if we look at Lucius's season skill, and this is why it's going to be so strong. We'll look at Lucius's season skill. Seasonal skill. He is over here. Okay. And we'll do more testing. We'll probably do an updated video tomorrow when I see what comps my guildmates are running and other people are running to do well. Yeah. So increases haste by 10 and damage dealt to 15%. So after 10 seconds into battle, because everyone's alive, they're going to have 10 bonus haste. After 40 seconds into battle, everyone has increased damage dealt by 15%. So he's kind of like a damage buffing hero. And then Rainier as well for the debuff, but I'm wondering maybe even swap out Rainier. No, I don't think swapping out Rainier makes sense. Definitely Rainier Mythic Plus I think is needed. I think Lucius will be the best option. That shielding is too powerful, and it's on is on a lower cooldown than Mythic Plus Coco, and you don't need the survivability from Coco. So I think this is going to be a boss or a Primal Lord where Coco is not actually the MVP. Lucius, funnily enough, I think will be. So I'm thinking Lucius, Rainier, OD, Cassidy are definite, and then it's just about the 5th slot. Do you want to run Merrily? Do you want to run Corrin? Do you want to run Smokey? So we need to experiment with that, I think, tomorrow. And I think Crescent Spell was the best. We got the highest damage with Crescent Spell, where we ran triple damage dealer, not even running Smokey, not even running a shielder, just Rainier, Cassidy, and then Rowan, or Corrin, OD, and Merrily. But anyway, OD is going to be your key damage dealer for this boss, so try to get him as ascended as you can. Ideally the Supreme Plus, you will do better here. And don't worry, you have plenty of time before the boss is going to go down. Most likely it's going to take us, I don't know, the other Primal Lords took almost 15 days, a couple of weeks. So this is probably going to take a similar amount of time. And the longer it takes is actually better for us, because then we get more daily seasonal essence reward, because you're very limited by seasonal essence. I wish it showed the team comps people use to get the highest rank, but I'll just check with my other guildmates what they used. And then we will do an updated video. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. And I'll probably upload another video later today. I have some other ideas for a video, so we can go ahead and try to do that. But thank you for watching the video. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, because we are uploading daily AFK journey videos with guides and updates to keep you all up to speed with everything in AFK journey and try to progress on your account well. But thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.